One day, they are everywhere. Every cinema, every television station, every movie poster. They are winning awards, giving interviews, becoming household names. And then, they disappear. No announcements, no farewell, just silence. Years later, someone asked, what happened to that actor? Did they quit acting? Did Nollywood forget them? Were they pushed aside? Or is there a story behind the spotlight that most of us never get to see? Today, we're going to be exploring one of Nollywood's most emotional and misunderstood questions. Why do some actors suddenly disappear? Welcome back to the Pops Vibe Show. I'm Wale Pops, and if you are new here, this isn't a gossip channel. We don't just discuss celebrities. We explore the stories, the psychology, the business, and the realities behind African entertainment. Because sometimes the biggest story is not the movie. It's what happens after the camera stops rolling. When we see actors on our screens, it's easy to assume life must be perfect. Successful career, money, recognition, fame can be surprisingly temporary. The entertainment industry moves fast. Every year, new actors emerge, new faces trend, new stories capture attention, and sometimes, yesterday's biggest star quietly becomes yesterday's news. But here's what I've learned. Disappearing from our screens don't always mean disappearing from life. Take Alexx Ekubo for example. For years, he was one of Nollywood's familiar faces, appearing in numerous productions, building a loyal fan base, representing a generation of leading men that many fans noticed. He wasn't appearing as frequently. People wondered why. Some assumed he was simply taking a break. Others thought he was being more selective. But very few people knew the private battle he was facing. After news of his passing became public, many fans expressed the same feeling. We had no idea. And perhaps that's one of the biggest reminders fame gives us. We often see performance, but never the private struggle. But Alex's story is only one part of a much bigger picture, because not every actor disappears for the same reason. Let's look at another example. Genevieve Nnaji, one of Africa's most celebrated actresses, a global ambassador for Nollywood, and someone whose career helped introduce African cinema to new audience. There have been periods when she stepped away from the spotlight. Immediately, rumors began. Is she retiring? Is she done with acting? What's happening? But perhaps the better question is not, why isn't she everywhere? It's, should every celebrity always be everywhere? Sometimes privacy is healthy, rest is healthy. Stepping away can also be a career decision. Then there's Emeka Ike. For years, he was one of Nollywood's biggest names. Then he became far less visible. Time away from the industry, and eventually a return that reminded many fans why they admired him in the first place. The story teaches us something important. A career pause does not always mean the story is over. Sometimes it's simply the beginning of a new chapter. Now I want to ask you something. Has there ever been a Nollywood actor you genuinely thought had retired, only to see them return years later? Tell me in the comments, because I'll be reading every comment. But career breaks are not always voluntary. Sometimes life makes the decision for you. There are moments when disappearing is not a career decision. It isn't about fame. It isn't about money. It isn't even about the industry. It's about life. Over the years, Nollywood has seen several talented actors face serious health challenges. And those moments remind us that celebrities are human beings before they are public figures. Clem Ohameze is one example. For many years, he was one of Nollywood's most recognizable faces. Whether he played a king, a businessman, or a father figure, he brought a unique presence to the screen. But after facing major health challenges, his career understandably slowed down. Instead of discussing his performances, fans began praying for his recovery. And that tells us something beautiful. Sometimes the audience does not just love the actor, they genuinely care about the person. Then there was Ernest Asuzu, a gifted actor, a familiar face in many Nollywood classics. But later in life, he publicly struggled with health and financial difficulties. Many people who grew up watching him were shocked because on television he always looked larger than life. His journey became a reminder that applause does not always protect people from personal hardship. And perhaps we should remember our stars not only when they are trending, but also when they are quietly fighting battles. Another name that sparked conversation in recent years is Anuku. Videos circulated online, leading many people to speculate about his well-being. Some reports were later clarified. But the conversations revealed something interesting. People who cared still remembered him. They still wanted to know how he was doing. And maybe that's the true power of great acting. You can disappear from the screen, but never disappear from the people's memories. But here's something I find fascinating. Not every actor disappears because of health. Some disappear because the industry itself changes. Nollywood today is very different from the Nollywood of 20 years ago. The way films are produced has changed. The cameras have changed. The audience have changed. The business has changed. And naturally, the kinds of actors producers are looking for have also changed. Sometimes an actor becomes strongly associated with the one type of character. For example, the villain, the comic relief, the wealthy businessman, the strict father, the traditional ruler. That's called typecasting. And while it can make an actor famous, it can also become limiting because audience begin expecting only one version of that performer. At the same time, a new generation enters the industry. Fresh faces, different acting styles, different social media influence, different audience, and suddenly competition becomes even stronger. But here's the important part. This does not erase the contribution of the actors who came before. It simply reminds us that every generation writes a new chapter. Now I'd love to hear your opinion. Which veteran Nollywood actor or actress do you believe deserves a major comeback? Not just one name, and tell us why. I genuinely can't wait to read your answers. But despite all these challenges, some actors disappear, only to return stronger than ever. And I think that's one of Nollywood's most inspiring stories. I've always believed one movie can change everything. One performance can introduce an actor to a completely new generation. We've seen actors return after years away and remind audience why they became stars in the first place. Experience does not disappear. Talent does not disappear. Sometimes it simply waits for the right opportunity. And perhaps that's why Nollywood remains exciting, because every year someone returns, someone surprises us, someone reminds us why we fell in love with African storytelling. So, why do some Nollywood actors suddenly disappear? I don't think there's one answer. Sometimes it's health. Sometimes it's personal decisions. Sometimes it's family. Sometimes it's relocating abroad. Sometimes it's business. And sometimes it's the changing demand of the industry. And sometimes it's simply taking a well-deserved break. But one thing is certain, fame is only one chapter of a person's life. There's always another story beyond what we see on our screens. And maybe the next time one of our favorite actors disappears, our first reaction should not be, what happened to them? Perhaps it should be, I hope they are doing well. Because behind every famous face is a real human being. So I'll leave you with 3 questions. Which Nollywood actor do you miss the most? Which actor deserves a major comeback? And if you could bring back one legendary Nollywood star for one unforgettable movie, who would you choose? So I'll be in the comments reading every response. While researching this documentary, I discovered another fascinating pattern in Nollywood. It explains why some actors become global stars, while others, despite incredible talents, never quite reach the same level of international recognition. And honestly, it completely changed how I look at success in the film industry. So, if you enjoy thoughtful conversations about African films, filmmaking, celebrities, and the future of entertainment, you are in the right place. Subscribe to Pops TV so you don't miss any episode of the Pops Vibe Show. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Share it with someone who grew up watching Nollywood. And I'm Pops, and this is me signing out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next documentary.